breaking news story on our hands. We're just learning that, yes, the Chukwudi guy, suppose or calling himself a chief or whatever he wants to call himself, yes, was invited by Ghana Police Service, and now we speak on authority that, yes, we've just also confirmed that from the hierarchy of the security services that his passport has been confiscated, yes, and more investigations underway. Folks, as an Ayarga Air Canon, yes, we've had a confirmation all of this from the, you know, the excellence of the security service and the passport no magic. Yeah, Omaji. Omaji Nsua, no magic for a very good reason.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with another news of the fake Igbo king. Yes, so this time around it comes with power. You know what I mean? Ghanaians are winning and I'm so happy about it. But before I get right into this very video, please, I would like to apologize. Yes, as usual, I would like to apologize for the background noise. I'm still here. Yeah. All right, so the title of this video said the Ghana police have confiscated the passport of Chukwudi Eze, the fake Igbo king in Ghana. So I got this very news from this very channel, My CTVGH. I hope their information is accurate though, but you know, this is what I saw on this very channel. Well, it was recommended and the person was on my neck like, he was choking me that they'll react to this video ASAP. That's why I'm here. Let's watch it together, and at the end of it I would love you to drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's get right into it and I will be right back.
Of course, this is Ghana Speaks Extension, and of course tonight mene ora Hassan Ayarga ABD in Komaka Krebi na Yasha Adem. But before Hassan comes, my main kind message is way. Also, I am highly disappointed with NDC leaders in this Nigerian matter. One for Woody, okay. My main show wins loads of messages. Charlie. Well, say good evening, Mr. Anna. Ghanaians need to unite all the world to stand against this Igbos, or else I am smelling danger if care is not taken. That's what is happening to Anambra State, Benin State, Zamfara State, and Igbo State, and now the horn is blowing in Ghana. Please, what are our leaders doing to protect this country? Stanan, we're all scared. Oh, this is Akwesi Dia from Kumasi. Akwesi, I know how you are. You're scared. Good evening, Kweku. What is going on in Ghana? How now we see it's as something normal, but it's a big issue. Now the country is full of Nigerians. Everywhere you would go in Ghana, they are there, and I don't know what's going on in our border that's allowing them in just like that. There must be a very serious checkpoint to ask them they are entering the country. A lot of them don't pass the border, but passes the bush to enter Ghana. So our border must be very tight. Immigration for no way. Please, let's forget about these greedy leaders. South Africa did that and they succeeded. Let's take the law into our own hands and deal with them as South Africa did to them. Period. These Nigerians are not people that should live with us. Simple message, straight up. And one know. Well, let me go on the line and speak to. He's a business mogul, of course, a politician, and then a political activist. Dr. Hassan Ayarga on the line. Hassan, let's do our own thing before we come to them. Zanyure. Nanso. Good. People will be wondering, hey, what's this guy saying? Great. First of all, congratulations to you after the street walk. I think we've never spoken until today. Now, what do you make of the walk first?
The work has been a very interesting one, as you are aware. There were some media houses among some of your media houses and bloggers who actually made certain statements and sent to their pages and said that the work was not coming on. And as a matter of fact, it has been cancelled. So the numbers we were expecting, some of these people did not come because they thought that what the media and the bloggers have put out there was right. In actual sense, this was a tactical deceit of Ghanaians not to come out and then participate. But nevertheless, numbers came, huge numbers came. People were, people are passionate about this takeover and behavior and criminal acts of foreigners, especially Nigerians and Igbos. So the work was a success, and you see that we are planning another work on the 8th of 8.
I see.
8 of 8. So,
good one. Good one.
And see, there was a sabotage too from the seat of police office. I won't say seat of government, but I'll say the police department. If you look at the people who went for the walk, the police refused to give them protection and told them that the president was having what we call Absa Bank marathon race.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, they did not want Kenyan citizens to walk. I mean, the citizens were going for a walk. They were not going for a demonstration against government. Even when they got to the Flagstaff House, they were presenting the petition, but they were told that there's nobody to receive their petition. Nevertheless, this is Ghana for you. We will fight until to us and do the right thing. So I told them that they shouldn't worry. They should continue with the work and let's finish up the work. When we finish up the work, the right time, I will lead that work. And we will see whether they will receive the petition or not, and whether the police. So the police did not give them security. The police never gave Ghanaian citizens to work security against Nigerians. This is the country called Ghana. So you can imagine why the IGP will refuse to give security for its own citizens to work. That's because he said the president was doing a marathon race for Absa Bank. Absa Bank, what is Absa Bank? Absa Bank is for Nigerians, it's not for Ghanaians. It's for foreign. It's a foreign bank. It's not a Ghanaian-owned bank. So if it's a foreign bank, why do you have preference over your citizens' life for a walk, for a marathon race? So, my brother, it's done. I have registered our displeasure against the behavior of certain groups of Nigerians in Ghana, including their head, the so-called head, the Igbo king. I am here to give you a lot of expose this evening about the so-called Eze. I don't know. I don't even know his name. I don't know whether he's called Eze or Chuku or whatever. I don't know.
So many of this,
There are so many names. When you
and we are told that the first title, which is the Eze, has been banned in the Igbo land by the Igbo Traditional Council or some sort.
But even the Igbo community in Ghana come out to say he's not their leader. They have not selected him to be their leader. So they don't know how he became a leader of the Igbo king. Igbo is not in their books, but he parades himself because he is. They have. I think I've sent you those documents. I think I've sent you in the court cases, the publications, and all that. If you check your WhatsApp, it's there. Able to publish some of these things and put them on the screen for people to see.
Yeah.
And the newspaper with publications against him, that he is not their king, he's not their leader. They have not elected him as a leader. So whatever he's doing, it is his own cup of tea. And I'm now getting the picture so well because many people are calling in and giving me series of events, evidence, a lot of evidence against the Igbo man activities in Ghana and abroad.
Yeah.
And that this man is tarnishing the image of Ghana, including our sitting president, including former presidents, including all ministers of state. This man has tarnished the image of them. And he has given me a voice recording and a detailed explanation of activities. And the reason why he takes pictures with almost every president. The reason why he has pictures, videos of him with everybody. According to this gentleman, he used to work with him.
Oh, so then if I get you, it's like one of those, analysis style of entrapment, filming people, and then later we'll put a narrative to it and all of that. Are we looking at it in that direction?
Let me first of all, let me tell you that on Monday he was invited to the police.
Oh, this Monday of this week?
Yes.
Wow.
And his passport has been taken.
His what?
His passport has been taken away from him.
His passport, Chukwudi Jude passport,
has been taken away from him.
and it was given back to him. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's been taken away from him.
So
He doesn't have a passport now.
The
so
security services have confiscated a passport now.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
a breaking news.
And he is investigated because I've given them a lot of evidence. We wrote to the House of Chiefs.
NIB, the National Bureau of Investigations.
And I've sent a lot of evidence to national security of his activities in Ghana and the damage he's causing to Ghana and our current president, former president, everybody.
Wow.
I've sent the recording and all those evidence to national security.
This is unprecedented.
This man is destroying the name of Ghana. This man shouldn't even be given 1 minute to stay in Ghana. 1 minute. This man and his group of criminals in Ghana should not be given 1 minute, 1 second. This is how they operate.
Wow.
According to the guy, I don't want to mention his name because of security reasons. He did several things, including gold scamming. And in the process, they have 2 offices. This is how they operate. And he's the boss. They have one in McCarthy Hill. I want him to come to tag him so that he can be listening. This is what I like. I always like evidence. I like to say something that if he debunks it, I will tell him more.
But we will process all of that, and then later we'll let our listeners and viewers also have a bite of that. Yeah.
They are into gold scamming. They have 2 offices, 2 major offices they operate, which he is the boss who sits in these 2 offices. One of the offices is in McCarthy Hill. McCarthy Hill. Now, when you get there, his picture is in that office, and the reception is his picture in that office. And he has workers. He has a team of workers. They are boys, and girls. So what they do is they use VPN. Okay? To be able to connect to clients. So they'll make girls. They'll use girls to test these people who are gold countries. and who are also who are also into buying of gold in various countries. So they are now going to use those girls and then start calling them and having interaction with them. The moment it clicks, they now tell it a client. They now call that system a client, the person a client. Now they have a man called chairman. So chairman takes over that particular file of that person. Then he now starts negotiating and talking to the person. All right? And then begin to tell the person that they have gold and it's in a security deposit and all that, and they need the money to be able to. They should come and buy the gold, but they should bring in some money so that they'll be able to take it from the vote. Okay? They have lawyers, so they'll bring in lawyers. When the white man comes to Ghana, this is how they receive the white man. They send a team of special what do you call it? Entry from Ghana. That guy, they have their people who are working at the airport. They give you VVIP treatment. So the person comes in Ghana, he has never seen that kind of treatment in his life. He's just coming to buy gold. But you are coming to buy gold and you are given a VVIP treatment with land cruisers and police escort.
Police escort?
Yes, police escort.
Damn.
With sirens. So they'll take him to his hotel. They'll give him the best hotel in Ghana, one of the best hotels in Ghana. He's being given one of the best luxurious, let me put it, luxurious hotel in Ghana.
Wow.
He's put in there to sleep and given time to relax and change. Then the next day they would bring him to their office. They have an office. That office, if you know Abedi Pele's house at East Legon, behind Abedi Pele, at the back now, there's a road to the end.
Yeah,
when
to the end.
That road to the end, left and the right, their office there. That is their headquarters.
Oh, I
So
see.
I'm giving thumb up so that he will know I know everything that I'm telling.
Yeah, we're giving him a hard surveillance.
Yes. And that is where they will tell him, when you go there, this white man is brought in there. Okay? He goes in, he sees the Igbo, let's say the man, the Nigerian, whatever called Eze. Pictures and the pictures of our president with him all over the office.
This is
so you
shocking.
enter the office, he has all the pictures of all the presidents of Ghana. So it's a package. They said they call it a package.
Good, that's correct.
So he has packaged himself very well. All right? So this Igbo man will not see the pictures. You sit with the white man and tell the white man that he and this president, this place is secured. The white man is good. He can't, even you believe it, because this is a package. Are you with me? So they sit with this white man, or this foreigner, whatever they call it, this white man, and then they call in a bullion van. They will tell him that they are bringing the gold for him to see. So they will call in a bullion van, and this bullion van will come into the premises with police escort. And even in the office, there are police in the office. There are policemen in his office. All right? That before you come and knock at the door, the policeman will ask you, what do you want? And then you have to talk. Then you go up and ask whether they are aware of you, or you phone and say, if they are not aware of you, they will tell you to go. If they are aware of you, the policeman, Ghana, our policeman.
Wow.
Will open the door for him to enter and go and meet the white man. So when he sees this special convoy of beautiful cars that surrender.
Hey.
Okay, so they come in. When they come in, After they narrated the whole story to the white man, he then tells the white man, he the Izzy, you know that somebody else, the Izzy himself, the so-called Izzy, and that at that time they were having this problem. They were doing a deal of $12 million. They were scamming this white man of $12 million. This story is telling me at this time they were
$12 million
$12 million. Yes, $12 million US.
Allegedly.
Listen to what they did to the man. Listen to what they
Damn.
When I finish, I will send you the voice message and the details.
We have
so that you have proof, evidence. But don't mention the man's name because they know you.
We'll hide him for now. Yeah.
We'll hide him for now, but we will deal with it. The police will have to take it up. We share the evidence with the national security. They have to pick this man up again. And even though he was released on Monday, he was given a bail. He was given another bail again to go home. Because if the police invite arrest.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter whether you came and you slept that day. That day he did not
there was a bail conditions he fulfilled. Yeah.
There was a bail condition. So now he tells this white man that, look, have you seen me with the president of Ghana, current president, president of former president, the Asante, all these big men. This guy is doing that to package himself to dupe people. So these pictures, you go around taking people dressing in this kind of like a king, like God. All is a package. The regalia, all this kind of dress of regalia, is like a package. So now the white man is forced to believe this is the man with the current president, President Mahama. This is the man with the former president, President Akufo-Addo. This is the man with former president, what do you call it? Kufuor. This is chiefs, kings, all of them. These pictures are there. Then he tells the man that he can call any minister right now. They'll come to his office. That's what he wants.
Oh, he can call any minister?
Man that any minister of this country, he will just call him and ask him to come to the office.
This is shocking.
So from there, the bullion van will bring the gold and gold dust and gold bar.
Hey.
They'll bring it to the office. So they will take the man downstairs, open the bullion van with policemen, with two policemen with weapons. Two Ghanaian policemen dressed with weapons, including the bullion van. So they will open. What they do is that they put in good gold in it. Some of the gold bars, they are good ones. They are original. They are real gold bars among them. But they'll position it in a way that the white man would take the original gold. They will touch it and see. When he picks it, then they will tell him that, okay, pick anyone. Then you pick the one. Then they'll now drive him to PMMC.
Oh.
Mineral Commission. He says even there he has bought all the people at the PMMC.
Yeah, I see.
And
our PMMC here.
Yes, and that is a package. It's a package. So when the Ghanaian people like money, this is what he says. So they'll give you money until you don't want money. They'll give you the money in order for you to do the work. So even at PMMC, they know so well. So once he gets there, the treatment there is totally different. From the first floor to from the ground floor to the first floor, they will take him with the man, they will give the gold. Normally, according to the gentleman, it will take 3 days to 4 days for them to do assay. It says assay test. We call it assay test. They say assay report. Yeah, that's how you call it. Assay report. Called, I don't know it. He tells me that it is called assay report. And this assay report, it takes them like normally 3 days to 1 week to get it. But when they go with that, because he has already paid all the people.
Exactly. He walks through easily.
They are all part of it. They are all part of the scamming.
So it's a whole big syndicate.
Yes, so the Ghanaians are part of it. He said there's a gentleman called Douglas.
Okay.
I should call that name for him to know.
Yeah.
Douglas is the kingpin. He's a Ghanaian, but he talks like a Nigerian.
Yeah.
He behaves like a Nigerian.
By the way, Douglas, we have your pictures. So Douglas, report yourself to this.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. Yes, he has to.
Listen to the story.
Yeah.
He said the Douglas guy died. He's dead now. So the son of Douglas, which is he's called Believer. Believer is the one you have the pictures, not Douglas.
Yeah.
Believer.
Yes, sure. Believer. Sorry.
Yes.
Believer
is the one you have the pictures.
Yeah,
So the
Douglas
one you have
there, yeah.
yes,
Believer.
It's not Douglas. It's Believer.
Believer.
That is
yeah.
Douglas' son.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand? So Douglas, I should tell him to ask him whether he does who is Douglas to him. And Douglas is part of them. They were using Douglas to do this coming. So Believer now is the one dealing with them. Who is the son? Who is the one you have the picture? Not what do you call it?
Douglas. Yeah.
Yes. So Douglas died. So he says this. So now they will do that. They will not tell the white man to pay the money. The man has tested. They are going to ship it, do shipping documents and everything. I mean, they carry everything to the airport. Sometimes they carry it to the airport. Sometimes they allow interception by police to say that they have intercepted the gold. They don't have this license to do this, and they'll seize the gold. And that is not the only one. There are names he has mentioned. Some Ghanaian people, the Nigerian people, I will keep their names for now.
For now.
I will keep their names for now. I will tell you later those people who are. Group of people, he says the man is gone too deep.
Quite serious.
In Ghana, yes, he's coming. So his office of Easy is not an office of a legal of what do you call it? A legal office of any chieftaincy or whatever. It is for them to be using it for scamming.
Yeah.
That is why the story of the land he said he bought the kingdom, all is part of scamming people.
This is dangerous.
It's a package to scam people.
This is dangerous.
Let me continue. The gentleman tells me that, look, these people, they have finished Ghana. And that now, he got angry with them and left to the U.S.
Oh, I see.
He just got, because they were now destroying Ghana's name in the international world, to the international world, to the international community.
Community, yeah.
You understand? And that foreigners and white people, when you talk about Ghana and gold, they don't want to come anymore. Because they do several times. And you know the funny thing he told me? He said, Dr. Erga, funny thing is that it's not even Ghanaians doing it, it's Nigerians.
Wow.
He says that Nigerians in Ghana, more than 1 million Nigerians have Ghanaian passports.
1 million Nigerians possess our passport, correct?
Yes.
I see.
1 million.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, I hope that he has heard this and he's listening.
1 million Nigerians have Ghana passport in Ghana. And that,
this is heartbreaking.
when it was, this man helped in everything for political parties.
Oh, boy.
In elections, they have, almost every Nigerian has a Ghana card. Almost every Nigerian working in Ghana here has a Ghana card. Almost all Nigerians, they have Ghana cards. Some almost, he says, 1 million Ghanaians have Ghana passport. But he doesn't know the rest. But he knows that over 1 million Ghanaians have that. The fact of the matter is that we are finished. The Nigerians are disturbing. They are doing everything. They go around the whole world using Ghana passport now, destroying our image. And And the fact of the matter is that by the time we realize, we'll be banned from going to several countries because of their attitude.
Wow.
We can say we are friends. And then he told me another thing. He said that the man is, they buy, when they scam these white people, his brother, who is Toya, who is from Pram, is called Toya. The brother is giving part of the money to start buying land and building hostels. That they have so many hostels in Ghana. And all coming from this scam man. This man, if he says that, look, if the man is lying, another woman called me and told me that if the man is lying, then besides, he was selling the cassette by her in Pinterest.
And listen, where?
Pinterest.
Yeah.
That he was selling cassette even at Pinterest. She knows him very well. A woman from Germany called me and said she knows him very well when he was selling cassette to at Pinterest. If he's lying, she tell her, she will call his name. But she call her name and tell him. He knows her very well. She shouldn't come and say he wasn't selling cassette. That when I said he was selling cassette, he said I was lying against him. He came here to be selling diapers. What diapers do you sell?
This is heartbreaking.
They always use one thing to front and then their dealings. Okay? That the Nigerian dealings in Ghana here, we are talking about all these things. You know what annoys me? That some Ghanaians, even in Ghana, are asking why are we worried Nigerians? Can you imagine? Some Nigerians, Ghanaians, are even saying that the man has apologized. So we should forget. How can we do that? This man and his people killing, murder, armed robbery, prostitution, all illegal things. Some people said, oh, we are doing it. I said, if we are doing it, that is our country.
Yeah.
If our children are doing it, we'll find ways to resolve it. But the Nigerians have taken over. And the problem is that we, let's be careful, we don't bring in xenophobian attack or whatever.
You see, the Ghanaian, this is how they are talking.
Somebody is taking your country. Somebody is taking your sovereignty. Somebody, like you said, we haven't finished solving Bawku problem. It has taken us 4 years.
We have look at how the Bawku crisis now degenerating.
4 years. We have not been able to solve Bawku crisis. Even Bawku people are now angry with me. They are saying that you are fighting the Igbo man, but you cannot fight our problem. I said, your problem is totally different from what I am fighting.
Yeah.
Your problem are citizens. One is my mother, one is my father. I cannot go against any of you. All I can do is to plead with all of you to let peace prevail. That is all I can say. Because it is time for us to lay the guns down. The children are dying. The youth are dying. Both sides youth are dying. And the elders are quiet. Why are the elders quiet? I am calling on them now. ABDULLAHI Ayariga, Dr. Hassan Abdullahi. I am calling on the Mampusi youth, the Kusati youth, to lay down their guns immediately and let the elders take over the decision now. This is their duty as parents.
Yeah, it's a good
solve
call.
the problem, not to allow children to be dying. So the youth, they have, okay, you people have done well. Ayuko, you have done, you have fought to this stage. Put your weapons down. Put down your weapons.
Yeah.
The elders of the Mampusi, including the President of the Republic of Ghana, and they should engage in that. It is their duty to engage. Gun, nobody will win this fight with a gun. Mampusi will not win with a gun. Kusasi will not win with a gun. Let go. Let the right procedures be followed. The elders of Ghana, the elders of the Mampusi, the elders of the Kusasi, all of you sit down. It's your duty to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Not the children to be dying. Not the youth to be dying. That is the future of Bawku. You are killing the future of Bawku. And if they are innocent and ignorant, and you are buying weapons and ammunition for them to fight, buy them businesses.
It's serious.
Give them business money to grow their businesses. And stop buying weapons and bullets. And let your children grow. Send them to good schools. Teach them good things. Don't teach them war. Don't teach them fighting. So if I am not helping in the Bawku fight because I know what is wrong,
Yeah.
I will not put my hands inside in the Bawku war. But this evil criminal is taking our country. What you don't see is that what is happening in Bawku between Kusasis and Mampusis is going to repeat itself in the next 10 years between Ghanaians and Nigerians.
Exactly. There you
This
go.
is what I'm fighting against.
There you go. And this is what the politicians have not
Really know. What is happening today in Bawku, in Palestine, in Israel? If we do not stop it, let's stop that propaganda, that xenophobic attack. Let's stop that propaganda. This is not, Nigerians can come and take their citizens and go to Nigeria. Our citizens in Ghana are not in Nigeria, are not behaving the way they are here. Our citizens are not behaving that way.
good.
Our citizens are even scared to beat a Nigerian in Ghana. To beat a Nigerian in Ghana. Our citizens are scared to go to Nigeria and beat a Nigerian in Nigeria. But what do? They kill our people in Nigeria and they kill our people in Ghana. And we are quiet. We are scared of them. We are there say, oh, you know, abutre for what?
Yeah, bre.
Why never abutre man? Why? Maybe abutre mau, but of somebody killing my family from a different country.
Yeah. Quite scary, is it not? It is.
You people want to take our country. You people think we are jokers here. They have the audacity to sit on platforms and sit on radio. Even this so-called Igbo king is given an opportunity to sit on national TV and talk.
Yeah. And talk.
Let anybody try putting this Igbo king again on national television. Any media. This nonsense must stop. People are taking over your country, your sovereignty, killing your children. You are giving them what you call a platform to explain themselves.
And it's not making sense either.
To lie to the Ghanaian people.
Great. Bro?
Sometimes I get angry.
Yeah.
And I shout.
I would want you to keep the rest. Perhaps we bring yet another breaking news on Friday. Then we let Ghanaians. I mean, this is a developing story, as you know.
I am going to send you the voice message of that gentleman who explained it.
Yeah. So we work on everything, and there's a lot more that we are still working on as far as you're concerned.
Let me end by saying this. I want to call on all our children out there, our citizens, our youth of Ghana.
Yeah.
This country is yours. It is not, no president, no minister. They are busy doing their own thing. Defend this kind of, what do you call it, take over from Nigerians from us. Look, Chinese are taking over. Let me tell you something. I was telling somebody yesterday that we are going to lose everything in the near future. Why? Because, look, Nigerians are buying our lands and our properties.
Yeah.
Chinese are buying our lands, our properties. Lebanese are buying our land and properties.
Yeah.
Indians are buying our lands and properties. What do you call it? All other citizens are buying our lands and properties. We are only selling. We are selling.
Just like that.
We are selling. Think twice. We are only selling. When you finish selling, what will you have then?
Hey.
And very soon we'll finish selling because every country is buying. Every national from every country, they are buying our property. They are buying. They bought all the prime areas now. Now they are buying everywhere. And you are sitting down. You are comfortable because you have a small cubicle called 2x4 room. You are comfortable. You don't want to fight for your to know that you don't have to sell your properties outright to any foreigner. Why? My law will be a law. No foreigner is allowed to buy any property again. So I'm calling on leaders, chiefs. I will visit all of you from one region to another.
Yeah.
To appeal to all of you. Do not sell our lands to any foreigner again. Enough is enough.
It's enough.
Do not. Because in the future, you'll be a king without land. You'll be a king without minerals.
Yeah.
Some of the land they are buying, they have minerals there. They are buying all the...
So,
to the
why wouldn't we have the influx of Nigerians, what do you call it, Chinese? Already Chinese have taken over our forest reserves and our water bodies. And we haven't finished that fight.
They bought them.
Yeah.
They've taken over, they bought them outright.
And we are spending money to chase Chinese, the influx of Chinese out of our soil. We have not yet fight yet. Bro.
How can you sell your gold mine to somebody for peanuts? Can't you mine yourself?
Good one. By the way, before you go, quick one. Are you aware that the former National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, warned the then Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ayoko Butri, as it were, because then it was somewhere 16th of September 2022 when this Chukudi attempted to celebrate his Yam Festival, and the National Security Minister warned the Foreign Minister to tell all the invitees to back off and boycott the Yam Festival of the imminent danger. I mean, we are just picking that report.
Yesterday, I spoke with Honorable Kandapa.
Great.
And in our conversation, we discussed the issue of Bawku war.
Great.
And the solutions we should bring on board.
Yeah.
He called me. I called him earlier. I called him, I think, 2 days ago. He was at the funeral. Then he called me.
Yeah.
He called back in the morning when I was sleeping. And then I picked the call and I told him. He said, "Oh, my brother, this our Bawku case. We fought it, and we brought it to this stage." I said, "Yes, it's still on. The president is working on several things on it. So let's hope that the president will find a solution to it." Then I brought the issue. I said, I called you because I was told, I was being informed, this Igbo king was out in your radar. He said yes.
Good.
This Igbo king on his radar. But all he can say now is that, thank you very much for solving the problem for us.
Good.
This is what he said. He said, Ayarga, you have solved the problem for us. I want to thank you so much for solving this problem for us. So you can see that already this man was on the radar of national security in the previous government.
Yeah.
Because they were the one printing money and bringing in. I've not finished the story of the other part. We'll leave it for the next day.
Of course, the next
the issue
Friday.
of money now, money laundering, and how they do the same way they behave with the gold procedure they do with money. Dollars.
Terrible.
Dollars. This man has finished our integrity. Nigerians have finished our image. Nigerians have destroyed our sovereignty. Our name is not more Ghana. They are the criminals, and they are using our name to do their criminal activities. And some Ghanaians will sit somewhere and not behave and not think.
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
For politics.
This gateway to Africa. The beacon
It's
of
not an election
democracy,
year.
all will become a cliche very soon.
It's not an election year. I am doing it because it's right. And I'm doing it because I do not want anybody to take over my country. I cannot be a slave in my country. I cannot.
Bro?
No, my wife is telling me to come down. I tell her, look, you know me. when I get angry, all right, my brother. So, I thank you for your time. So, Ghanaians, like I was saying,
Great.
The citizens of Ghana should stand up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is their country they must defend and protect.
Good.
This is the time for us to do it. We cannot sit down and believe in this policy. Let's come out collectively and fight and protect our country called Ghana. We should not allow the mere fact that Nigerians are living in Ghana and Ghanaians are living in Nigeria does not mean that they should come and misbehave here.
Good one.
In Germany, I've lived in Germany before.
Yeah, I know.
Look, if you misbehave, if you have a passport and have children in Germany, the German is probably.
Yeah.
They will deport you, take the passport from you and deport you. In the U.S., if you go there and misbehave, look at what happened here. Let me draw your attention to something. Our president and all the government were sitting down here when they came here and took Ghanaians away.
Yeah.
FBI.
The FBI. Just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
What did we do?
Yahoo thing.
This guy who's in Nigeria here, the Nigerian Igbo king or whatever, has done worse than the four boys.
Can you imagine?
What did we do to him? He's working freely. But our citizens have been taken away.
Yeah.
4 of our citizens have been taken away to the United States. If I am president, it will happen.
Great. Bro?
But we have allowed a Nigerian to be doing nonsense in Ghana here, and we are all watching. My brother, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Good one, bro. Take a breath, and then, folks, so just gone past is Dr. Hassan, the flag bearer of the APC. Just about 24 minutes gone past the hour 10. This is the frontline breaking news story. Great, folks. Yes, of course, I have the breaking news story on our hands. We're just learning that, yes, the Chukwudi guy, suppose or calling himself a chief or whatever he wants to call himself, yes, was invited by Ghana Police Service, and now we speak on authority that, yes, we've just also confirmed that from the hierarchy of the security services that his passport has been confiscated. Yes, and more investigations underway. Folks, Asan Ayarga Ekano, yes, we've had a confirmation all of this from the, the excellence of the security service and the passport no magic. Yeah, Omaji. Omaji nsua no magic for a very good reason. Yes, all of this gold in semenia dio esha senye no. Ghana for sa gold in yomu we shas enye no. Sa is legon ho. Any gold scam in for samube kaya about 10 years ago or maybe 12 years ago beyond. Gold scamming biaku koso is legon ho. Ghana for some kito. I want Ghanaians to avert their minds, but then again, the sad part of this issues where air bubbly is the indigents. Ghana for yes, yeah, I say yeah, the humbe bata papay near Bonamana say yeah, my share and the DBA canoe. Or confu pa trase emo confu boni ababe tufo but o man bebo na ye na ebetremu Ghanaians ye na ebetremu hwe de eko hwe ade we aye no what say sebi in prayer as Mr. I said nentwibini but enyoma e shasia for almost 20 years and more of this Igbo man abetra Ghana any nyoma akoso no Ghana for nyas and papa sa. Now, I say, why and somebody warm. Be more than say that day. Men discuss Igbo for us and make a different topic. And I'll leave the rest of the media for no say one year because your media houses have gone to bed. The entire media landscape tradition will mean now go bed. And now do you know that I don't know, sir? Nesika senior debama media owners and our media houses and editors and journalists for you to keep quiet. And someone more come here now and I pay Rianya Nadri. Science me ya ka. The baby number said, wait, we are doing this to rescue our nation. And here media for no. And a NDC MP. Meanwhile, foolishly and stupidly, those leaders they are also quiet. They are not talking about anything. Now why no Babedini so? Some MPP 5 groups no why no almost see no money no bedi omoso. And on bedi minu mi enu so. Are they ready to talk about our security when some unscrupulous rascals and ragamuffins I am Madrid say, woman the Ghana's image echoed the abyss, and we are happy. At least I am proud to hear say, Ansana MPP be free power. The National Security Minister of the state did something good. And Orakandapa, you have my salute tonight. So what it means is that the living of this Igbo man way poses existential threat to the stability of this country. And the current national security ministers and those who advise the president, they are all quiet, continue to maintain quiet. NDC for it will hit you like nothing. Mena memo promise. NDC, this Igbo matter, trust me, it's like nobody's business. It's coming. It is coming. Ghana for Enyas and Papa. Enyas and Papa. Who's there? Make us say me earlier say here. Womo who say Hassan Ekas and Okaya Okodru say womo the president picture and the abo office or no the this is what they've been doing. President go baby and in the calendar. Abba no the mama and crofo womo business counterparts near there symbolizing say yeah woman president near close there. Just say woman compromise Ghana and Benin now. Folks, we'll come on Friday, the weekend front line. Friday. Oh, I have loads of information here. Loads of information. But this is a platform we are processing a lot. We are also doing a lot of cross-checking. Folks, the breaking news story just gone past. Chukwudi passport has been confiscated by the security services of the state.
Is there any country you are not disgracing us? Is there any country? Nobody wants you anymore. Even African countries don't want you anymore. Has it gotten to that? And it's not that your country is peaceful. Your country cannot even, you can't even stay in your country. And instead of you to live a low life when you are in another man's country, at least copy them, learn from them. But no, you won't come spoil waiting you can't see here too. And when we make video and post here, people will come up and be telling us what I do not know, saying that I'm a Nigerian, I'm holding Nigerian passport. And so does that mean I should not come out and say the truth because I'm a Nigerian, I'm holding Nigerian passport? Are these people okay? Do you think through your brain or your annals? I don't understand though. I don't understand. So we should be sitting on the truth. We should not call out our own. Those people doing the illegal stuff in other countries. We should not come out here and warn them. So people would think that we are the same, right? Oh, you want me to come and be pampering them and be saying, hey, Ghanaians, don't send them away. Ghanaians, don't do this. Hey, take it easy on them. Is that what you want to hear me saying? Never. I will never support that thing. So don't even think of hearing that from my mouth. This mouth, I can never speak something like that. I'm here to speak the truth, and I will speak the truth to the end. If you don't want your name to be going around negatively, then amend your ways. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. We're not saying if you're in your country, you should not do In your country, you can do whatever you want to do. And when you are being caught, you face the law. At least it's in your country. But don't go to another man's country that we are coming, hiding ourselves. Like, they give us shield here in Ghana. They give us, look at the way they're treating us so good in Ghana. And this is how we choose to pay them back. We are here talking. You guys will be saying what I do not know. And most people saying this kind of things, they are abroad because they are not home seeing what is happening. Do you think that if they ask me to leave Ghana today, I'm going to be happy? I'm not going to be happy because of what is happening. Look at what is happening. In case you don't see, go to the internet and type what is happening in Nigeria. Look at Anambra State. Everywhere is not safe in Nigeria. Don't allow anybody to lie to you. Look at Boko Haram, kidnappers. Look at One Chance, everything. What kind of country is that? Everybody is just is in that country trying to protect his or herself. That's what I know. If you're in Nigeria, you're on your own. And we don't have weapons to hold. I mean, individually. If you go to police, they will send you away. They will be like, they don't trust you. Because everybody is scared. Everyone is scared in that country. And you are expecting me to come out here and say, and support Nigeria because it's my country? Never. If I like, I should hold the passport forever. I will not come out here and say what is not true. So stop wasting your time by typing those kind of comments. Because I'm not hearing anything. I'm not going to change. This is me. And I stand with the truth. Guys, I've come to the end of my video. Let me know what you think about this very video in the comment section. Do well to like, subscribe to the channel, share this video to as many eyes out there. I believe they'll watch and learn from it. I love you guys always. Bye-bye.